Welcome to the pilot episode of Hair Up, Bra Off. We're so excited to start our podcast with you and the 4 people who are listening, probably our fans and our moms. My name is Kathryn and my co-host Sue. Say hi, Sue.
Hello.
We're 2 women in our 30s. I've been chronically single and Sue has been married for a few years. So we both bring 2 very different perspectives to our conversations. And also Sue is left brain and I am more right brain. So together we're unstoppable and make one brain.
Together we're one brain, baby.
We met in college at FIU in Miami and actually met through our ex-boyfriends. So I guess thank you to them for at least one good thing they gave us, each other. And now you're probably wondering about our podcast name, Hair Up, Bra Off. For one, we wanted our show to be your new comfort fix. As many women know, there's no better feeling than taking off your bra after a long day and getting your hair up, out of the way, and in a bun. And at least for me, I can say, I know it's officially me time when the bra comes off. And also on the other end, Sue never wears a bra.
Can I also just say, I think that's how we both are at the moment. I mean, we both have literally our hair up and I'm wearing no bra.
So you're
So
going no
that's
bra.
almost our default, you know? And I wasn't even trying to rep the podcast, to be honest. This is just how I was on. It's like my day off today. It's 4th of July tomorrow, so we have the day off and
In your most comfortable place right now.
yeah, exactly. Because why stress? You know, we're always stressed out 24/7, everything that's going on right now in the world. And then, we have our jobs and we have life. I just feel like I need to be in this state to be able to relax and watch
Amen.
TV and talk to you.
Next, we can dive into why we decided to start this podcast. And I think for one, we felt that we can finally get the microphones in the right hands and not just left for another male podcast. We wanted to become the remedy to the alpha male propaganda. And may I add, I feel if men started listening to this podcast, they would better understand women and therefore get laid nonstop.
Yes.
And if you think about it, the majority of alpha male high value podcasts, a lot of them are single. And
What is high value? First of all, you're right. Like, there's just like too many men with microphones. Like, take away their voice. Take away their voice. They can't talk anymore. They are banned from speaking. There's like all these men I randomly see videos on Instagram and they'll have like thousands of views and a ton of comments around, you want a woman in the 20s, you don't want a woman in the 30s. And it's like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like.
yeah,
So I don't understand also what high value man means because no, seriously, like what is that? I feel like as men, they also haven't aligned fully as to what that means, even. Like, there hasn't been any committee or organization that has, like, deemed them high value men because they themselves deem, like, they give themselves a title. And when you give yourself a title, that means it's like invalid. Nobody crown you the high value man.
yes, I think the high value men trend started because men needed an excuse to why no women wanted them. Like, they
Yeah.
thought, okay, why don't women want me? Oh, it must be these standards that I have. Or, how do I say this? I know I'm thinking it really good in my head, but out loud it's not coming out right.
I think it's just like another name that like little bitches gave themselves.
I
It's an insecurity thing at the end of the day, right? Because it's like you have to, if you're
Mhm.
insecure and you feel like you're not enough because you are not, you have to figure out a way of sort of flipping it and saying, it must be that people hate me because of these other things, because I'm better than them. That's usually how
Exactly.
insecurity works. You like default to fake confidence, like insecurity
Yes.
shows up in fake confidence that has no basis for thinking that you are better than somebody else because you really truly haven't gone in and looked at yourself in the mirror and said, this is the thing that I have to improve about myself. You just kind of blame it on the world and then you keep moving. It's just a lot easier to do that than to like actually, do the work. So
And
I
I
think that's
think
where it's
with
coming from.
and I think it's even worse now where men do that because with these podcasts, all of a sudden they're they called.
Their
It's
voices
like
are amplified.
yes. It's like they found each other, so now they're pretty much hyping each
Groupthink.
other up. Exactly, groupthink. Like
Yes.
now they feel like this narrative is real because there's enough of them where they can validate it in a way, but in reality it's like none of them know what they're talking about.
They're becoming like radicalized in their own
Exactly.
sort of like little cells in their own
Mhm.
like in their own little groups of people. Yeah. No, I know it's terrible. It's isn't it kind of crazy though when you think about it? Like this kind of is related to us starting a podcast because I feel like everybody, has a voice and everyone's now talking and everyone has a video. It's almost like everyone that is coming up in the world right now has some sort of digital footprint, right? No matter if you're like into podcasts or videos or whatever it is. But I think it's so interesting how that's led to just a lot more division because now everyone just kind of finds their own group online and their voices are like amplified and they don't listen to any other point of view, right? Because now the algorithm just shows you the same thing and they know
Yeah.
that if they show you something different, you're just gonna like scroll and not engage and they want your engagement. So they just have to show you a whole bunch of the same content, that it's dangerous for your mental health because you don't get to see like the other point of view or the other side of the story.
Another thing I noticed more and more with men and their excuses is they start using the insult that women are now a girl's girl. So, for example, on one of these dating shows, it was like the pop the balloon dating show where a man comes out and multiple women are there to see if they like him, and the way he was talking to, the first woman, everyone else started popping their balloons because he was talking so disrespectfully. Like he wasn't being respectful.
Yeah,
He was giving off that alpha male podcast energy. And when he would go to the next woman, would try to explain, like, hey, the reason why I popped my balloon is because how you were speaking to that woman over there. He goes,
yeah,
oh, you're a girl's girl. You care more about her experience than me as a man because I'm a high value man, but clearly you're just all about the women. You're all about the girl's girl. And
that's
I'm
right.
like, boy, trying to help you and tell you why she didn't want you, but you're
Yeah,
going straight to, oh, she's a girl's girl.
yeah,
Like
which is
now
not a
they're
bad
trying
thing
to.
either. You're like
Exactly.
criticizing something that like doesn't even make any sense to criticize.
They're trying to hijack that term now, a girl's girl, and make it another excuse of why women don't live up
Yeah,
to having a high value
no,
man.
what we are doing right now, Kat, like us talking, is an act of rebellion. Like in the world, no, for like seriously, in the world in general, men don't want us to talk. Because when we
Exactly.
talk, we start becoming less likely to be abused by men, to be manipulated by men, to be put down by men, to think that our worth is not, as high as we know it is. So they're scared of us talking. That's why the Taliban banned women meeting up and having
Yeah.
groups and talking to each other. Because they know that talking to each other is like for them it's like a threat, right? And it really isn't or shouldn't be because at the end of the day you just have women that are confident and able to kind of like stand on their own. But a lot of men are threatened by that for whatever reason. So yeah, it's pretty crazy how like this simple act of us talking right now and having our voices heard and recorded and like having our opinions in the world, it's literally truly an act of rebellion. There's a lot of people. I'm not gonna say just men because I feel like women are on that bandwagon too. There's a lot
Oh,
of people
yeah.
that would want it not to be the case. So
And I feel anytime we talk about how much we despise men and we hate men, we're basically just really focusing on and talking about those toxic men. We're not talking about every man. We're
yeah,
not trying to generalize it. We're being very specific. I feel like men who are in our lives and men who our positive outlets are ones that we
Yeah.
cheer on the most. And
I also think those men wouldn't really care if somebody said, I hate men,
oh,
inside. I think whoever is getting upset is definitely the one that, is sort of like incel, can't get laid, very insecure kind of man, because they would be upset by
but
that statement because they feel like it applies to them. So,
yeah, and that's why again I want this podcast to be a girls podcast because I hate the fact that men are hijacking that term now and trying to use it as an insult because I didn't just see it in that one video of the pop my balloon dating thing. I saw it on multiple where men were using that excuse that, oh, you're a girl's girl because you care about what I said to that woman, but I'm talking to you. And I was just like, wow, leave it to men to just try to
to
take
try to
anything
separate
good.
us,
Try to
to
separate us,
try to
yeah.
try to separate, because that's what they want. They've thrived under that model, right? Because when women were jealous of each other or didn't support each other, all of this, or was secretive or didn't speak to each other, all of this was going on. It's like, forced marriage, like, or rape, or a man abusing his wife, or a man manipulating his wife. Because when you don't trust other women and you don't have community, you're more susceptible to being abused and
Yeah.
being put down and being silenced. So yeah, it's like an old, I mean, if you could write the playbook again, like you would write it, the first thing you would want to do as somebody that doesn't want that to happen and someone that wants to have control over women is make them hate each other. It's like, an easy, doesn't even take two brain cells to like think through how to do it. I mean, we all know the playbook, and we know that it it has for a very long time been like less and less, this like jealousy kind of thing between like women is almost evaporating, because again, now maybe that's the one benefit that social media has created, I feel like, and like,
I was just
more
thinking
like
that,
digital
yeah.
connections, that all of us can kind of see it and can support each other online. And I think there's more ways for us to communicate, so yeah,
And
that's kind of like
also
leading to
seeing how men behave online and hearing their podcasts, you start realizing like, wow, they are the problem. It's not the
mm-hmm,
women, and I feel like
mm-hmm,
women are starting to understand that more, and we're uniting in that front where I feel like guys before would use the excuse, oh, that woman's crazy. That's why she hates
right,
me. And girls would be like, oh, yeah, she's so crazy. But now I
yeah,
feel like that narrative doesn't work. Like, at least for me, it definitely doesn't.
yeah, yeah. If they say that, it's like a red flag, right? Like if they say my ex is
Exactly.
crazy, you're like, it's a red flag. Like, she clearly wasn't crazy, but you probably are. Like, you probably are
Exactly.
crazy.
Why did she go
Yeah,
crazy?
right.
You
Or
know?
crazy is also like whatever they think crazy is, right? It's such a like, there's no standard for when a man calls a woman crazy. It's just like,
Yep.
oh, she went through my phone because but she saw me like cheating in a corner. Right. So what was a
Amen.
crazy action? Going through his phone, you know?
And
Oh,
it's
she got upset in the middle of the night and like destroyed my tires. Right. Because you were cheating on her, and then she went through your phone and found out that you were cheating with like 10 other people. So, that's not crazy.
yeah, it's justifiable. Justified crazy.
Exactly. The way that I describe it is a reaction to your action.
The next point of why we created the podcast was, it's basically we hope to create a sense of womanhood by being a female outlet and empowering women and basically being a girl's girl, like we mentioned, because deep in my heart, that's all I care about.
Hmm. I think we're doing a great job so far. I mean, this is the first episode. And I think just like overall, the reason why we created this podcast again is just to sort of amplify women's voices, and I think have this other point of view of, two really good friends that like each other a lot and respect each other a lot. And the other thing too that I was thinking is like, I feel like if we don't do the podcast, like we won't, be cool in like 60 years, because everybody has a podcast. So like I need to be able to show something for this time. And so my grandkids would ask me like, why didn't you record a podcast? And I'd be like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to record it.
And I kind of how I feel when I found old VHSs of things that I recorded, and I was so glad that I held on to them and I was able to look back, because it kind of brings back those times. And through doing this podcast, we kind of have a time capsule of all our thoughts and what we've gone through, so later on we can go back and listen. And hey, that would be like, what, 6 people listening to this podcast to,
Yeah.
say hi to us in the future.
Wait,
Hey.
it's so funny because it's gonna be six with us listening to us in
Yeah,
like another 60 years.
exactly.
Not us going back to listen to ourselves. Like it still counts 50
It
years later.
does, it does.
So it's still two people in the audience, you know what I mean?
So thank you for listening, and we hope that you've enjoyed this episode, and there's plenty more to come.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for being with us, and tell your friends, men, or enemies we're not picky. Follow Hair Up, Bra Off everywhere you scroll. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time.